Good morning and welcome to Sunday special of Dr. Lamba explains Sikhism. Sikhism was born out of Hinduism and it could never swear links with it. There have been attempts, but culturally it has been tied to mythology and the references to Hindu culture, Hindu mythology, Hindu gods and goddesses, Hindu symbols remains an inherent part of Sikhism. As a matter of fact, till Guru Gobind Singh came on the scene and performed the ritual of converting Sikhism into an organized religion called Khalsa, Sikhism wasn't in any way different than Hinduism. As a matter of fact, even the names of all the Hindus and the Sikhs were the same. The first person who became Singh was Guru Gobind Singh. His name was Gobind Rai. So, to say that some Hindu cultures, aspects of Hindu culture are not there, is a sign of narrow-minded approach. Of course, it has incorporated all the advances, but slowly it assumed an identity of its own. The use of Hindu symbols, which was very potent in the beginning, slowly faded. So, swastika symbol was a major part of Sikh culture. And the Sikhs who say now that it was not are either not aware of the history or are purposely trying to ignore the facts. For one thing, it's not Hindu culture. Now, here I'll blame even the Hindu custodians of swastika. Swastika symbol is an ancient religious symbol, and it was predominant not only in Hindu but in Eurasia, African, and American countries. Of course, it got recognition as a symbol of Nazi party and the neo-Nazis. But then if somebody uses a knife, which is meant for cutting vegetables or for performing surgery to commit a murder, is it the fault of knife? Same happened with swastika. This is a symbol of divinity and spirituality in Indian religions, including Hinduism, Buddhism, Jainism. But the earliest swastika, as I said, was known about 10,000 years before Christ. It was part of an intricate mainstream pattern to join up swastika, and it was found in a Paleolithic figurine of a bird carved from a mammoth ivory. And you know where it was found? This 10,000-year-old mammoth ivory with number of swastikas on the figurine. It was found in Nazin, which is a place in Ukraine. And Ukraine is in news nowadays because of the ongoing war. As a matter of fact, it has been suggested that this swastika may be a stylized picture of a stork in flight. And as the carving was found near phallic objects, it also supports the idea that the pattern was a fertility symbol. So the changes from fertility symbol to the flight of a bird and to a symbol of culture and prosperity, happiness, is a normal change. Words change, symbol change. I was visiting the mountains of Iran and I found swastika symbols and spinning wheels on stone walls, and they are estimated to be more than 7,000 years old. One is in Berhant, in Khorshad. There's a holy wall, Lakh Mazar, and you can find symbols over there, 7,000 years old. In Bulgaria, there are caves, the Vastasta caves, and you can find a mirror image symbol, swastikas, both clockwise and counterclockwise, on ceramic pottery. And this was 6,000 years before Christ. So some of the earliest archaeological evidence swastika in the Indian subcontinent date back only to 3,000 years before Christ. So 10,000 years before Christ it was in Ukraine, 7,000 years before it was in Iran, and 3,000 years before it was in India. So to say that it is a monopoly of India or of Hindu religion is a mistaken notion, and that tends to make a very, very negative approach because it's a universal symbol. The swastika moved westward from Indian subcontinent, that's a fact. And it went first to Finland, Scandinavia, Scottish Islands, parts of Europe, England. Neolithic and Bronze Age carving of the symbol are found in extremely unlikely places. They are found, for example, in Scotland in likely moor. And that's called a swastika stone. They have been found in Africa, in the area of Kush, near Ghana, Pottery of Zabel Berkel temples shows it. In Iron Age, they were found in Koban culture in Caucasus Mountains. In Neolithic age, they were found in China. They were found in Maribang culture. And there were other Iron Age attestations of swastika associated with Indo-European culture, Indo-Iranians, Celts, Greek, Germanic people, slaves. And it was also seen in Egypt during the Coptic period. And this is about 300 years before Christ. So this symbol of auspiciousness, this symbol of good luck, was believed universally to be so until the German Nazi Party used it as an emblem of Aryan state, but they adopted it and also adapted it. It became right-facing form, clockwise. And as a result of the World War II and the Holocaust, it was deemed to be evil. It is not. You see, symbols are not evil. It's the use of the symbol which is evil. So when some countries want to ban it, it only shows their capabilities to understand the difference between the symbol and the reality. So it's used in countries including Germany, it's prohibited by law, and now there's a proposal in Canada to ban it, and that is the height, because I was going to say height of stupidity. Basically, it's a height of narrow-minded approach, and it's being promoted by a Khalistani sympathizer. Now, when you promote it, the symbol, what are you promoting? You are promoting prosperity, good luck, which is there. And now preponderantly, as I said, in Native Canadians and Native Americans and Africans it's there, but they are in small number. The largest majority of the people are in Hindu, Buddhist and Jain countries like Nepal, India, Mongolia, Sri Lanka, China and Japan. And of course, Navajo people in southwest USA is a large number. The only thing is they have kept them close to their chest, and the people are not aware. Now the word swastika comes from Sanskrit, and it means conducive to well-being. And if you look at it, the Buddhist symbol is there. The seventh, in Jainism, for example, there are 24 Tirthankars, spiritual teachers. The seventh of them is representing this symbol, swastika. And in major Indo-European religions, it symbolizes lightning bolt representing thunder god, such as Indra in Vedic religion. And even ancient Greek religion, Zeus, Jupiter in ancient Roman religion, Thor in the Germanic religion, and all of them use swastika symbol. It has been seen in the Indus Valley civilization, in Samara, in Byzantine, in Christian network. And look at the names now. The symbols are the same, but the names are different. In various European languages, it is known as fagot, Gamidion, Tratusculon. In Anglo-Norman heraldry, it is called a Company. In German, is Heckenkreuz. Croix Gamme in France. Italian is Croce Urenta. Latvian is Augustus. In Mongolian, it is called Khas. In Chinese, it's called the Wanzi, meaning all things symbol. Now, point is, why do the Sikhs say that it's not? And before I come to that, let me tell you one thing. The earlier use of the word swastika, symbol was there, was used by Panini in its Ashtavi. Of course, it has been used in the Greek literature. It has been used in the German literature. It has been used in architecture and heraldry. Now let me come to the Sikhs. If you have read Guru Granth, and if you have seen the manuscripts of Guru Granth, you would find the symbols is prominent. The original Guru Granth, Adi Granth, when it was finished, the whole 2 pages were covered with swastika. I have a copy of that and I'll post it in the comments after I have stopped talking to you. And you would find that the people who say that it's not a part of Sikh religion, or the Sikhs don't recognize it, then they are, in fact, as I said, betraying their own gurus. The final page of the old copy of Guru Granth, with a very old style of writing letters, such as era, in a separate paragraph at the end of manuscript of the scribe, the writer, whether it was Bhai Gurdas or Bhai Mani Singh, they meticulously recorded even the recipe of the ink they used. And as the manuscripts are copied from the others, they were very helpful to the other scribes. And then is written swastikas and ekonkars. They are the records of a Khand Path. And the Khand Path, as I discussed last time, is a continuous reading of the entire Guru Granth over 48-year period. And so when the Guru Granth reading was there, a swastika would be written, and it's there, as I said, number of them on the final pages. And then, in Sikhism, it's rare to find a swastika otherwise, but you find the drawings, as I said, and then you find them in way that you understand that this is a long lost tradition. In Sarblo Granth, who celebrated? It is Shiva and his son Ganesh. Now Ganesh represents the symbol of swastika. So if Ganesh is being celebrated, and there is a 18th century Adi Granth manuscript, which is a Ganesh image on the first page, and it's written, Chapyo Chand Ganpat Gauri Sut Bhajo Rid Siddhiko Dham. So worship the master of the servant of to Shiva, son of Parvati, and you get all the mystical powers. It goes on to say, Sukh Pavo, Nit Nit Sada, Dhan Pavo Bisram. Forever bless me with happiness, always along with wealth and the rest. It goes on further. Ek Radhan Gaj Badan, Sadan Gori Sukhnandan, the one with one tooth, the face of an elephant, sitting in the house of Parvati as a son, and he is giving happiness. So all that is in Sarblo Granth, in 18th century Guru Granth manuscript, with a Ganesh image on the first page and swastika at the last pages. And then it goes on intellectual part, Buddhi Dayak, Angaharan, Sadasur, Kilvik Khandan. the giver of the intellect, destroyer of the pain, forever destroyer of the angels. Sin. Then Subudhi Gyan Data, Hari Pap Nikandan, giver of the great intellect and destroyer of the sin. And then when the symbols associated with Ganesh, and the Ganesh himself was being celebrated in Cereblogram, how can they say that this is not relevant to Sikhism? This contrast of thought was created because of a reaction to the fundamentalism exhibited by a very reformist movement called the Arya Samaj movement, because the founder of Arya Samaj had called the first Guru of Sikhs, Guru Nanak Dev, an illiterate man, an ignorant man. And that created a wave of resentment. And then they did not do anything, but they stopped using the symbol. But are you aware that even the Anandakari ceremony, which is now taking rounds of Guru Granth, used to be rounds of fire at one time till early 90s. 1926, actually, the first time the Anand Karaj was around Guru Granth. Till that time, Guru Granth used to be there, fire used to be lit, and the couple will take circles around that. And then it's not only that. I talked of the Cereblogram, but even in Guru Granth, this is mentioned. In page 1359, it's mentioned very clearly, na sank na chakra na gada na syam, asuraj roop rahank janam. And then in the Guru Granth are Bhattanti Samaya, which describes Paramatma as Surguru, and Krishna, sank chakra gada panam aap kadek chatam. So you are one holding the conch shells and things. And now people, some Sikhs fundamentally say that Krishna is not celebrated, though they are referring more than 2,000 times to Krishna in Guru Granth. So this was a reaction. But to say that they are not there was not acceptable. There is a copy of Guru Granth lying with Dr. Kamal Roop Singh Ji. And he says that there used to be ceremony which finalized the complete reading of Guru Granth Sahib and Cereblogram, the Bhoglu, and this is at the end of Guru Granth, as I said earlier. And then they have written two things. One is Ekunkar, the symbol of Sikhism, and there is also a multiple number of swastikas. So, whether you believe it or not, the reality is unchallengeable that swastika was an honored symbol even in Sikhism. And even now, if you go to the villages where fundamentalism is not strong, where the same family has Sikh members and the Hindu family members, you would find the symbol of swastika on the walls everywhere, shops. You would find it. It is only in negational facts that has informed people not to believe swastika as a holy symbol. But it was and it remains an inherent part of the Sikh culture, Sikh psyche. Thank you.